right. Hello everyone. So today we are here to discuss this problem decode string. With the name it says decode, which is encoding and decoding, which we usually do on strings or any other URLs. So let's say what this problem statement does. Given an encoded string, return its decoded string, and what are the rules? So there's a rule where it says k of encoded string, where the encoded string inside the square brackets is repeated exactly k times, which means whatever is in the square brace is repeated the number of times the number before the first opening square brace. So let's say here a is repeated 3 times, and then 2 of b and c. So b and c is together in a square bracket, so b and c is repeated 2 times, bc and bc, so it's a b c b c. Okay. And a couple of other conditions. You may assume that input string is valid, no extra white spaces, square brackets are well formed. Okay, sounds good. Furthermore, you may assume that the original data does not contain any digits, that digits are only if you repeat those numbers k. For example, there won't be input like 3a or 2 or 4. Okay, so basically this condition says there won't be any invalid condition having, saying that 2 or 4, which means 4 is repeated 2 times, or nested loops basically. So from the perspective of the problem, I could see only we can break the problem into chunks. So I see only like 3 different cases. I have a digit, I have a character, I have an open square brace and a closed square brace. So let's just do that. Let's just start with that and then proceed with the solution. So we will take an index first to iterate through the string. So let's say we took an index, and then let's iterate through the string first while index is less than s.length. Now we have 4 conditions. Let's say if we get an open brace, we need to do something. If we get a closed brace, we need to do something. If we get a character, we need to do something. If we get a digit, we need to do something. So let's just write those conditions first and then discuss further. So let's say if the character dot is digit of s dot char at index. If let's say the character at the particular index is a character, we need to do something. Else if let's say we encountered an open square brace, then we'll do something. Else if we encounter a closed brace, we will do something in the else case, which means that is a character. So here we'll do something. So to return, we definitely need a resultant string. So let's say our result is empty right now, and then we are going to return our result at the end. So now our logic goes in here. So let's say if it is a digit, we'll do something, and then if it is an open brace, we'll push that to something. If it is a closed brace, we'll push that and do some of the logic there and build the output. So that's how it goes. So for this, definitely what I think of is using stacks. So let's say we get an open brace. What we will do is we'll take a temporary string where we will add our characters to that string till we get a closed brace. And then we will also use a stack to store our digits. So to just keep track of the, whenever we encounter a closed brace, we'll just pop out the top of the stack and repeat our current temporary element that many times and append it to our result. And that's how we continue. So let's say we have 2 stacks. Let's call this counts, which will keep track of our numbers, and then let's say another stack which will keep track of our result. Actually, this is a string stack. We are going to store our temporary string there. So let's just call that. So now what, so there is an important fact to notice here. So let's say that there is an example saying, we only see single digits here, where 3 of A, sorry, 3 of A and then 2 of BC. Well, let's say there is a case where we get 30 of A. So we need to, keep the count of the count of the digit here. So we need to see whether the next digit is also a character, and then we need to form a number, and which we need to store in our counts stack. So let's say inside this if loop we get a character, and then to form the number we just take let's say int count is equal to 0, and then while we'll just iterate through the loop is digit of so we'll just take a while loop where we will try to iterate through the elements and then form our number. So let's say count star 10 plus s start char at index minus 0, which gives us the the correct number, and then let's say index plus plus. So now we came to 3, and then we let's just debug this out. We took a count 0 initially, and then we are at our 3. So now our count becomes count star 10, which is 0 star 10 0, and then s dot character I minus 0, which gives us 3. So now my count is 3, and then my index will become index plus plus. So now my index is at 0. So let's say we repeat this again while the while loop. So my count becomes 30 plus 0, which means 30. So we got our count. So we are basically calibrating the number. If we have continuous digits, we are just calculating the whole number and then storing that in our count. So since we got the number here, let's just push it into our count stack. Okay, so and then whenever we get a open brace, what we need to do, we need to take a temporary string which we will store in our resultant stack. Let's say initially we will just push our empty string to our result array, and then we will just update that. Then let's say index plus plus, and whenever we get a close brace, we need to pop the count from the top of the count stack and then repeat our current temporary string. So let's just say, before going to that, let's say we just got a character. We will just append that to our index, and then we'll just do index plus plus. So everywhere we are just doing some operation and just doing the index plus plus just to continue through the string loop. So whenever we get a close brace, what we need to do is we just need to pop from the count stack. So let's say int count is equal to counts.pop, and then we will need to in order to repeat this, we just need to build a string. So let's just take a string builder and then push that to our resultant stack. Let's say a temporary string builder, new string builder of result.pop. So we took the result.pop here because every time we build a string, we just don't want to build only BC, only A, but let's say we have already, so what we are doing here is whenever we get a open brace, we are just pushing the empty array, empty string into our stack, and then we will add, a to our resultant whenever we get a character. And when we get a close brace, so let's say in our step now we got a close brace, what we will do is we'll just pop the empty resultant array, and then we will add our resultant to that times the 3, that is accounts.pop, so which gives us a, and then we'll put that into our stack, and then the process continues. Basically we'll just pop that and then repeat the process again. So now what we have to do, we have to loop through the count to repeat that and add it to the string builder. For I is equal to 0, while less than count I plus plus. What we will do, we'll just add that append to the resultant, and then we will just assign it to the, we just have to do temp.toString because it's a string builder. So yeah, so there you go. So what we are doing essentially is we have 4 conditions where if it is a character, if it is a digit, we'll do something. If it is an open brace, we'll do something. If it is a closed brace, we'll do something. If it is a character, we just add it to our resultant array. So this loop is basically to calibrate the number. If we have 30, 35, 40 or 100, we just have to loop through that and form a number to push into our count stack. And whenever we encounter a open brace, we will just push our current temporary to our resultant stack, and then update our result and just do index plus plus. And whenever we get a closed brace, what we'll do, we'll just pop the top of the count and repeat our current temporary from the result stack times the count, and then we get the resultant string. Let's try it out. Okay, sorry, that's just, yeah, there you go. So yeah, so there you go. So this is a solution, and the time complexity for this is just O of n. So time complexity, let me just quickly write. Time complexity will be O of n, where n is the length of the string, and then let's say the space complexity is going to be it will not exceed O of n because we are storing both the count and the characters. So let's say, or in the worst case, the space complexity will also be O of n, because at the worst case we will just store all the elements in 2 different stacks, like divided into 2 different stacks. So the time complexity and space complexity will be O of n, and will be O of n. Yeah, thanks guys, thanks for watching, and do let me know if you have any comments, and if you have any doubts, and please subscribe to the channel. Thanks.